It's the Cool Kids Club. You've been invited to the Cool Kids Club. It's so exciting, yeah. Justin likes monsters, yeah. And Amy likes words in the Cool Kids Club. Cool Kids Club.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Cool Kids Club. This is episode 86, and I am one of your hosts, Amy.
Hey Amy, what's up?
Hey, you know what? Not a lot. Not a ton. What's up with you?
Not much.
Who are you? Do you want to tell people who you are? No?
No, that's all I have to say.
No?
I'm
gonna
Justin.
Be a quick one.
I'm Justin.
It's gonna be a quickie. Yeah, you probably know both of us. We're America's favorite siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you've not heard the podcast, I think you probably know that we're America's favorite siblings.
It is what we are mostly known for. Yeah.
I feel like that has gone mainstream. So I think even if you don't listen, you definitely know who we are.
Certainly.
I mean, if you follow E! News, then you know who we are, you know?
And who doesn't?
And well, I do.
That does not surprise me.
It shouldn't. Justin, it's hot as shit outside.
Oh my god. Is it hot where you are? Out there in podcast land? I'll bet it is.
Are you asking me? I live 40 minutes away.
I'll bet it is hot where you are. And I can say, yeah, it's hot as balls where we're at.
If you're in this hemisphere, then it's hot.
Oh, it's broiling.
Oh, it's just a boiling.
It's a bubbling and a broiling.
I really wish it was Halloween, guys. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead. July 14th, I'm going to go on record and say... I would like it to be Halloween now, please. Thank you.
We've peaked with the summer. We've had the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get it the hell out of here.
Let's move on. Let's move on with our lives.
Let's move past it.
Let's move past it. It's damn hot.
Yeah. You realize that when 4th of July, it's only been summer for 2 weeks, and that to us is the end of summer. In our brains,
basically.
Summer does not end for like 2.5 more months.
Yes.
2 more months about.
2 more months?
2 more months? I can't do it, Justin. I can't do it. It's too hot.
You're going to have to. Well, I would suggest, if you're too hot, Amy.
Yeah, and I am.
Why don't you cool down with a nice, refreshing, bubbly soda?
Ooh, you know what? That sounds great. Could I get a Crystal Pepsi, please?
1 Crystal Pepsi coming up.
Thank you.
Snack Attack is back!
To the year. Snack Attack is back! Pew, 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 pew. Yeah.
Snack Attack.
Yeah. You saw how we transported ourselves back to 1992.
Yeah.
And you were able to supply me with a Crystal Pepsi. Did you see what we did there? We time traveled on the podcast.
That's what just happened. Yep.
First and foremost, we are time travelers. That's really what we are, Justin.
What that we were.
We're time traveling historians. I tell you what.
Is that what we are?
I mean, that's how like people who work at Subway are sandwich artists.
Oh, okay.
We're time traveling historians.
I'll take it.
That's what we're not podcasters.
I do have a degree in history, so I will allow it.
And I have one in time traveling.
Do you?
I do.
That's wild that I didn't know that.
Masters in time traveling.
Ooh, you're a master. Hey, this is Snack Attack.
This is Snack Attack. This is a recurring.
We haven't had one in a while.
God, what was our last one?
Oh no, I feel like it's been.
I think it was fast food. It was like weird fast food stuff.
There was fast food. There was.
We've had sugary cereal.
Yeah, sugary cereals.
Saturday
We've had frozen treats. I remember we did that.
Oh yeah, that may have been our last one. That may have been like last summer.
No, that was like
like our first one. Yeah.
Whatever.
Our last one had April on it, and I do think it was the fast food one.
You may be right, but regardless, it's been a while, and we're back with a Carbonation celebration, which is a rhyme that I'm particularly proud of.
I'm very proud. You should be proud.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
This is a good podcast.
This is, we just keep talking about ourselves. It's just going to be this.
Let's talk about some sodies. Some Sody Pop Curtises.
So the way I'm looking at it is this is probably going to end up being like a series. I can see us coming back because there's a ton of discontinued nostalgic sodas.
Beloved
and drinks.
Bubbly drinks.
Yeah. I could do a whole episode on on Fruitopia vending machines, honestly. I will talk for an hour and 15 minutes about Fruitopia and their vending machines.
I feel like if we really did have a time machine, it would be a Fruitopia vending machine.
It'd be like the TARDIS, but instead of a
That's correct.
phone booth, it would be a Fruitopia machine.
You could unlock the side, and instead of filling it with Fruitopia, it would just be a box that you got in, and that was your time
And there's
machine.
a Fruitopia waiting in there for you.
Well, of course there's a Fruitopia way. It's on ice.
Yeah. Yes.
Whichever flavor you want. You just wish it into being. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boy, I like this. Let's write this down.
This is going to be Netflix's new, like,
Three Body Problem. Their follow-up to Three Body Problem.
This is going to be their new fun time-traveling romp.
Yes.
Starring Kiernan Shipka. This will come out next year. Yeah. So we definitely could do this. This will be the first of, I'm sure, a couple carbonation celebrations.
Yes. Now I love a soda. Soda's a big weakness for me. I got to be careful with the soda, and I don't. As I've gotten older, I don't do the regular sodas hardly ever.
You don't do the Dew?
No. Oh, the Dew.
The Dew is disgusting, and I know
it
we're going to get a lot of hate for that.
Disgusted.
It is disgusting.
No, there's a time and a place for a Dew, I think, but it doesn't come around very often for me.
Is it when you're really drunk and eating Taco Bell?
Yes. That would be one of the acceptable.
That's a Baja Blast, then, I imagine.
Baja Blast is its own thing, and it is delicious, and it is the nectar of the gods. I'm talking regular Mountain Dew. Baja Blast Zero is pretty much the only Mountain Dew I drink.
Yeah.
Anymore.
It's the only Dew you do.
It's the only Dew I do. But I used to do so many Dew.
I have never liked Mountain Dew. So thank God we're not talking about it.
It's never,
even though
it's never really been a favorite. We're gonna talk about Mountain Dew a little bit. Don't worry.
Well, sure, yeah.
But I feel like we're coming in hot with the soda choices today.
Yeah, we got to do some of those big heavy hitters, those big boys.
The big boys. So we picked four. I feel like highlights. Some real S tier stuff. First up, Amy. And I like how I did not do this intentionally, but they're in chronological order.
Ooh, I do like that.
Now, okay, so we're in the time machine, right? Where'd you say we were in 1992? We got to go back a little further.
We got to go back a little further.
All right, so
we're going to go back to the same year we went back to last time.
Yeah, and the wee baby Justin is hanging out. Two months old in April 1985.
2 months old?
2 months old?
Just 2 months old.
Yep.
Mom was giving him his Coke and his sippy. I'm just kidding. Our mother would never.
I was getting fed new Coke out of with my sippy.
Your sippy bottle. No.
One time I did see a lady in the mall filling up her baby sippy cup with Mountain Dew, actually. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Well, of course, Justin. Look at where we live.
I know. It was mortifying.
Like, who needs teeth? Who needs them? Honestly, I've always thought mine were superfluous. I'm like, who needs these?
Who needs?
If they all just fell out, I'd be fine, right?
I'll gum it down.
I'll just...
Don't worry, I'll figure it out.
Listen, I'll figure it out. So we go mid-'80s. We go back to 1985, the year of our Lord.
Yes.
Justin is born.
And so I will say I'm not typically a conspiracy theory guy. I don't buy into most conspiracy theories. I think some of them are fun. Conspiracy theories used to be fun. Now they're not.
Until people really believed in them, and it really has great effect on our. But
this is a harmless conspiracy theory that once I heard it, I was like, you know what? More than any conspiracy theory I've ever heard, I think I agree with that one, and I'll explain why.
This is a victimless one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you consider Pepsi victims, which I do not.
I do not. Listen. Make a better soda. I don't know what to tell you. Like, do better.
Do better with your sodas, Pepsi.
Like, stop being the worst soda ever. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a hot take.
I'm just speaking the truth.
By the way, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, or Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda Zero Sugar right now. I have been craving one of these all day, and I waited. And I waited. I was like, no, because I'm going to have one when we record the podcast. So,
Justin, that's so good. I should have done that.
So I cracked one. You want to go grab one?
Well, I'm finishing off my 7 brew from earlier today because you know that shit's
probably
expensive.
that's probably
and
enough
I can't
caffeine.
let that go to waste. Yeah, I've got this much, a third of it left. So yeah, I don't want to have any sody pop.
Okay, so let's get back to conspiracy theories.
Yes.
So the stage is the year was 1985.
Justin was but a wee babe.
I was but a wee 2-month-old baby. You weren't even around yet. It was great. And Coke, New Coke is one of the most famous like business blunders ever,
yes.
right? Did you ever have a New Coke? Because I didn't.
I'm sure I didn't because I wasn't alive.
Well, I mean, it existed first as New Coke.
Yeah.
So, basically, Coke had like shrunk to number 2 behind Pepsi in the Great Cola Wars, of which I just hit the microphone. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to edit that out. So
shit.
not the Cold War.
Not the Cold War. The Cola Wars, of which we are veterans. Many of our generation are veterans of the Cola Wars.
Pay some goddamn respect.
And so basically Coke was at number 2. And they were like, we gotta reinvent, we gotta change the tentpole.
The Santas and the polar bears not cutting it anymore.
We gotta change the tentpole product. Mm-hmm. The one thing that's most associated with our brand. We're gonna change it.
Yeah.
And they changed the formula for Coke.
Start putting cocaine back in the Coke.
Yes.
It was the 1980s. I feel like that.
There was a lot of cocaine going around.
There was a lot of cocaine laying around anyway. Put some in the Coke.
Right.
That would really revitalize it.
Well, they didn't do that. They were just like, hey, here's Coke, but it's a little shittier, I guess. I've never had one. But,
it's just Pepsi.
I was reading about this earlier. And I thought it was hilarious that kind of like we talked about in the WCW episodes of the Southern identity and the Yankees coming down to take our wrestling. It was very much that sort of thing. Coca-Cola is considered a very Southeastern product. It is like the pride of the Southeast. And they were like, fucking, you're changing all these years of tradition and the product because of some Yankees up at Pepsi.
Oh my god! Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but the South.
But like Mountain Dew is from here.
The South rose again. We are from the home of Mountain Dew.
I know.
Yeah,
which is in the Southeast. You know what? And remember when we moved here, there was that for years and years and years. We had that billboard that said Pepsi Tops in Tennessee or something.
I don't want to talk about that because the fact that billboard's gone brings me immense heartache.
I know, but it's a lie.
What,
Pepsi's
Pepsi?
Never topped.
Pepsi bottoms.
Pepsi only, and they're not a power bottom. They are a weak, submissive bottom.
Oh,
after they lit Michael Jackson's hair on fire.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Pepsi's had some good stuff.
Pepsi had Britney Spears.
You're being too harsh. You're being too harsh. You're too close. You're too close.
It's just that it's gross. It's just not a good drink.
So
if someone says they have Pepsi products, I recoil. I'm like, oh, just water.
Wow, the Pepsi hate is real.
I really don't like it. Yeah. Anyway.
So all these rednecks. I guess they raise all kinds of hell, and they're forming posses or whatever, and they're, setting fires.
They're getting people out of the hollers.
They're riling folks up is what they're doing, and so there's this giant backlash, and it's really from the Southeast. That's kind of where it starts because the rest of the country is just sort of like whatever. That's fine. But interestingly, when they started going to international markets, they had a bunch of trouble over there too.
Oh, so it's not just us.
It wasn't just us, no. It was kind of like the South really cared about it, and a bunch of these international markets really cared about it. But like,
what am I supposed to feed my baby? New Coke?
New Coke?
We were very mad about that. My baby hates New Coke.
I mean, I'll still give it to him, but he doesn't like it.
I will still give it, but he don't like it. He cries and cries and cries.
So how long would you say it was before the Coca-Cola company capitulated and was like, wow, this is a terrible idea, guys. We're not going to do it anymore.
I'm going to give it 3 months.
Pretty close. Yeah, 79 days.
70... Is that longer or shorter than Kim Kardashian's first marriage?
Oh.
Ayo! Ayo! It's about the same, I think.
Well, that was a
79
that was a real hacky joke.
That was real. That was like a Jay Leno monologue.
You see this? You heard about this?
Did you see this? You heard about this? Yeah.
79 days until Coke's like, our bad. We're gonna, we're gonna start making the other one. And I think it wasn't that like they could have made it, but they stopped making the old one too.
Yeah, it wasn't like, well, now we have Coke Zero, like, and you can have whatever you want. No, it was they replaced their best-selling product.
Yeah.
With a bad one.
With a bad one. And I don't even think by Coke standards it was probably that bad. I don't know.
I guess people just
I've
really
never had one. But
no. I wonder if I'd been able to tell the difference.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Sometimes I have a sip of a Coke Zero, but it's been so long since I've had a real Coke that I'm like, I think that might be a real Coke. And then I'm like, no, probably not. I'm like, I think they messed up and gave me a real Coke.
I think it was somehow even sweeter than regular Coke.
I think it is. It's just not sugar.
Yeah.
It's chemicals.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just chemicals.
So they rename. So it's not. They're still gonna make it, but they're bringing back the original, and this is when we get the birth of Coca-Cola Classic.
Yes.
Is the summer of '85. That's when they start the Coca-Cola Classic, and New Coke becomes Coke 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and Coke 2. I don't recall ever seeing Coke 2 anywhere. But it apparently existed. I think it was down to a couple select markets by the end, but it existed until like almost the 2000. It almost made it to 9/11.
You had some. Everything in our life is either pre or post.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the notes, and it did see 9/11 because it wasn't until 2002 that they discontinued it entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And just like everything else that ended, our innocence, our trust.
New Coke, which I never had and was apparently not very good. This is also when they
I don't even remember
Classic.
Coke 2. I guess it probably was never anywhere that we were. Because I'm like, I never remember seeing Coke 2 as a kid.
I don't recall that at all. 2002 is also when they removed the Classic, by the way.
Oh.
So 85 to 2002, it's Classic, and now it's not Classic anymore, I guess.
Because they don't have anything to compare it to. It's Coke. Now, I know this is like neither here nor there, but do you know how long they've been doing the like Santa Coke thing? Like a long, long time, right?
Oh, yeah, a long time. I don't know when it started off the top of my head, no. But
yeah.
Did you get one of the new Cokes that they did? All 4 of these sodas that we're talking about, Sodies have had some kind of reissue or return.
Oh.
And New Coke is no exception. If you'll recall, they had a thing with season 3 of Stranger Things.
First time, first love. Oh, what feeling is this? Electricity flows like the very first kiss, like a breath in the clouds and the first ray of sun. I can feel it again. Something new has begun. You can tell all the pieces.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Steve. The usual.
Yeah, you know it.
Who's the lucky girl tonight?
No date tonight. Just seeing a friend.
Sure.
I don't think I did get a new Coke then.
No.
I don't think so. Did you?
No, I didn't. You could get them from... There was a website that had them, but they like sold out really quickly. And
Sure.
yeah, so...
Fucking nerds.
Fucking nerds!
Fucking nerds. I do love Stranger Things Season 3. Maybe the best season.
Sure. And I love that and I love that tie-in.
That's a great tie-in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's maybe the most 1980s nostalgia piece of entertainment that didn't actually come from the 1980s.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's very 1980s.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get back in the DeLorean or what is it? Get in the Fruitopia machine.
Let's get in the fry. Yeah, it's our Fruitopia.
Let's get in the
crack open
time
another
traveling
Fruitopia
machine. Let's crack one. Yeah, crack it.
Crack it.
Crack it. And now we're going to set the destination to 1992, right? So
Yes. Oh, I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
I like that.
Well,
Spiky.
Here we are in 1992, and earthing is clear. Did you know there was Did you know there was a name for this?
No.
The clear craze.
Really?
Yeah. And of course, one of the most notorious products of the clear craze is Crystal Pepsi.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I want to be able to see in there and see what's up. I want to be able to see inside there.
So the clear craze was like a marketing fad in the 80s and 90s. It was, of course, we've talked about technology. There was a lot of clear, like the
clear phone.
Clear phone. The clear computers. The iMacs. The clear... There were all kinds of clear video game consoles and electronics. This is also in the 80s is what really started it, because it started with, like, beauty care products.
Yeah.
With everything becoming clear, and this idea of clear is pure. And basically removing all these... removing dyes.
Clear caboodles.
Clear caboodles, yes.
That maybe have, like, glitter in them or something. I'm picturing, like...
Clear boodle.
Yeah. Clear boodle. That's there's a clear boodle.
That's a good soda.
Now, did we ever have a clear Pepsi?
Now, I have...
a Crystal Pepsi? I'm sorry.
I have a very distinct memory of having a Crystal Pepsi.
Well,
also, I got a Crystal Pepsi when they were reintroduced a couple years ago.
Okay.
I just have a memory of we were on... It was something I'm pretty positive we were doing with Boy Scouts, where it was like a bike ride we were on.
Okay.
And I remember stopping at some store. We stopped for, like, to use the bathrooms and get snacks or whatever, and I remember getting a Crystal Pepsi. I remember they had the big tub things that are like the coolers that are like on wheels that are full of ice.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I remember getting a Crystal Pepsi out of there. So that's really the only time I recall. I don't recall us ever like having it at the house.
Did it taste just like Pepsi?
Yeah, it was a clear cola.
Interesting.
So it tastes like a cola, but it's clear.
How did they do that?
I don't know.
How'd they know everything?
How'd they do that?
How'd they do that?
The Pepsi scientists did it with their witchcraft.
You would think if they would make it taste a little better.
Well,
while they were making it clear.
Boy, ooh, you were coming down hard on Pepsi.
I'm just digging my heels in now.
There goes our sponsorship.
Yeah, we still have Coke. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Don Draper.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is very interesting. So, yeah, I do remember them coming back, as they always do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, at some point, when was that they came back?
2016. But you're getting a little ahead of yourself, because we haven't talked about the Super Bowl commercial, which is one of the things I absolutely remember the most about Crystal Pepsi, with the Van Halen song, Right Now!
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's everything!
Did they have a Crystal Cherry Pepsi?
I've never seen that, no.
Isn't there
Crystal
there is a
Pepsi
cherry
literally
Pepsi.
lasted a year.
Oh, wow.
And you want to know what took out Crystal Pepsi?
Coke?
Coke took out Crystal Pepsi. Because and this didn't come out till years later that they did this intentionally. Which, by the way, going back to my conspiracy theory, I didn't get to follow up on the without.
I was
the,
gonna say you
with
did.
the new
I know
Coke.
what it is, but you didn't talk about
Them bringing
why
back
is it-
classic Coke, basically propelled Coke back to number one, where
That the whole
they've
thing-
stayed since then. But the conspiracy theory is that they did that on purpose.
that they deliberately made a subpar product so people would get mad and want real Coke back, and then they would bring.
They would
real
create
Coke back
demand for a
and
product
create
for
demand.
their own product.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and I do think that's like less a conspiracy. I mean, I guess it is, but it's also just like.
Well, no one's ever
that sounds
admitted
like
that they
just
did that
business.
on purpose. They'll admit,
Right.
like, hey, that worked out in the long run. But
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's actually come out and admit. But I do think that they
I
did
think
that on
that
purpose.
absolutely.
But they
I mean, that
definitely,
seems like
because it has come out that they did this on purpose. So
Yes.
Coke, they put a hit out on Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah.
And they're like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna respond to your clear cola declaration of war,
Right.
declaration of
We gotta
battle
have
in the cola
something.
wars,
Yeah.
and we're gonna respond with Tab Clear. Gross.
Yeah.
Who likes Tab? It's basically at this point a dying brand, which is why they take the
Is
risk
Tab
with
just
it.
like a seltzer?
No, it's like a sugar-free. It was like the one of the first like sugar-free
Oh, okay.
sodas.
Okay.
And it was pretty much at this point it was like the old lady soda.
Oh yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
So they're like, all right, well, we're not going to risk our main brand, our Coca-Cola brand on
Mm-hmm.
this, but we will risk a smaller one of our sub-brands. So
Yeah.
let's say Tab. So
Yeah.
we're going to do Tab Clear with the intention of
Yeah.
confusing the customers into thinking that Crystal Pepsi was sugar-free, which it was not. And sugar-free
Oh.
sodas were less popular at the time.
They were not what they are now.
No.
No, they were gross.
So they intentionally confused people into thinking that it was something it wasn't, and tanked their sales,
Frightened and confused.
and it killed Tab in the process. So they were like, "Well, that's just the cost of doing war.
That's just yeah. That was a risk we were willing to take.
That's friendly fire."
It was a sacrifice that the island made.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like
So
it's
yeah,
all right.
basically this all happened within a year. So it went from like, Pepsi, it's our new thing. We're at the Super Bowl with Van Halen.
Van Halen
To just getting like
man.
swatted like a bug by Coke.
Yeah.
And Tab was a casualty.
It was like going from David Lee Roth Van Halen to Sammy Hagar. Even though I know that song was in the Van Hagar.
You're not gonna get any argument from me that
Yeah. But it was kind of like that.
David Lee Roth's better. Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Obviously. Right
Justin, he's just a
now,
gigolo. He's just a gigolo.
It's everything.
Can I tell the world how you used to sing Justin Gigolo in like late elementary, middle school because our parents thought that was hysterical?
Well, I guess you just did. So
Well, I could edit it out, but I'm the one editing. You're
probably not gonna though.
Probably not gonna.
Okay, so
Justin Gigolo.
So get this. This is
Yeah.
one last thing I want to mention about Crystal Pepsi.
Sure.
When it did come back in 2016, they had a retro-styled website and a marketing video. And the website included the Crystal Pepsi Trail, which was an officially licensed parody of the Oregon Trail game.
Wow.
Just real. Oh, they know us. They know us
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. They
Nostalgia makes money, buddy.
It sure does now more than ever.
Yeah. Oh, God.
We have nothing to live for, so we must look back.
Yeah.
So this next one that we're going to talk about seems like maybe the most, when I think of popular discontinued drinks of our youth,
Okay.
I think I probably think of this one the most, even though I didn't drink it. I wasn't into it because, as we're about to talk about, it's similar to Mountain Dew. Not my thing. But that was Surge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel like Surge was for the bad boys. Surge was the bad boy. Surge was the NWO of sodas.
Oh, I love you for that. Yeah. Yeah,
mean,
that's exactly what it was.
It really was.
It was the Attitude Era of sodas.
It was the Attitude Era of sodas.
And it was a very prominent sponsor on WCW programming. So there was always Surge stuff all over Monday Nitro.
Hand in hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Check this out, fans. WCW and Surge are the perfect match. Be the first of your friends to collect all 5 Surge WCW action cans. Available in participating stores now for a limited time only. Life's a screen.
So this was a Coke product, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, this came out in '96. So back in the Fruitopia machine, I'm having my third Fruitopia of the afternoon. Now we're in 1996. And everything's extreme. Suck it.
Well, you had the extreme games. Yeah. Lots of
crotch chops. Lots of
crotch
snowboarding.
Yeah.
Just lots of extreme
like
sports.
a lot of Tony Hawk. It was a lot.
It was yes, yeah. What were the games? The X Games.
That's what I was gonna say. The Extreme Games or something, but yeah, the X Games. Yeah.
And oh man, the sodas got really in on it.
They really did. They knew who
because
they
that
were
was
marketing
Mountain Dew's whole thing for years, right? Was
yeah, Mountain Dew was for the outdoorsy.
If you're skateboarding, you're doing the Dew.
If you're skateboarding, you're doing
if
the
you're snowboarding,
Dew.
you're doing a Dew.
Well, because I think that the connotation is these people are gonna risk their lives. So they're gonna drink this disgusting fucking drink. God knows what. Like, these people do not care about their bodies. They don't care what they do to them, and they don't care what they put inside. I think that was why Mountain Dew was so popular with the extremists, the skateboarders, the snowboarders, all the boarders, really.
All the boarders. Do you remember how Surge was loaded with carbos? What the hell's a carbo? It was fully loaded citrus soda with carbos.
Was that supposed to be like like carbs?
Yeah. The gimmick is basically it's like regular soda, but we have a bunch more carbs and a bunch more caffeine. When in reality, it actually didn't have. It had actually a little less of both of those things than regular Mountain Dew.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't even more caffeine. It didn't even give you a surge.
I wouldn't. They claim that with their science and their soda witchcraft that this was basically an energy drink. This is before energy drinks.
Yes.
So this was marketed as basically an energy drink.
This is a monster. This is what a monster is. This is what a Red Bull is now.
Yes.
It was more like a soda though. It was a soda. It was like a Mountain Dew. If Mountain Dew and Red Bull had a baby, that's how they were marketing it.
And Mellow Yellow.
Oh, Mellow Yellow was not mellow. I feel like Mellow Yellow was always. You know what? It's because they're fucking electric lime green.
Yeah.
A soda that color. It's not. You're not. This is not for health.
That color's not appearing in nature.
That is not. No, that is not a natural.
That is a synthetic color.
That is a synthetic color. That is some dyes. Yeah, that is some not red 40, but some I don't know some yellow 15 or whatever it is. That's something good. Yeah.
Carbos loaded with carbos.
Like what? What? I don't know. Do they mean turbos? Do they mean carbs?
It's a turbo carbo.
Also, I think that's hysterical where it's like, soda now with more carbs. Like, how's that your marketing strategy, by the way?
It's geared toward teens, all right? This isn't geared toward...
It's true.
This isn't geared toward people our age who have to be conscious of things like, hey, be careful of how much, sugar
and carbs you're consuming.
Carbs you're putting in your body.
This was a pre-Atkins.
This was get out on them
world.
Skateboards, and, I
need
linked
carbs for fuel.
I linked one commercial here where... they line up a bunch of old furniture and couches in a dirty alley, and a bunch of grungy kids race and fight over them to get to the surge. That sums this up. That sums this up. And I presume after they got done playing their Surge Olympics, they went inside and watched WCW television.
And just,
And
I was going to say they crotch chopped, but I know that's not.
Right. Well, they probably were switching back and forth like I was doing. You're doing the two sweet.
I mean, I'm sure
you're doing
that
the two sweet, and then you're crotch chopping.
Even if you were WCW, I'm sure a young 11-year-old
They were
boy
still
could
crotch
help
chopping.
They were still crotch chopping.
And the WWF kids were still doing the two sweet.
They're going to go wherever the crotch chopping is.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to. Yeah, they're not that loyal to it.
This is very. I think of this era. It's like I think of Surge. I think of pro wrestling. I think of South Park.
X Games.
I think of X Games. I think of TRL. Like that is
very edgy.
96,
very
97.
edgy in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geared more towards boys. I mean, I don't know why it just was. But
Well, yes. Yeah, definitely male. Yeah, I think women were still kind of sex objects, probably. But
no, 100%.
yeah.
Well, girls were not.
Not that they're not.
We had
now.
to. Well, sure, but I mean, you wouldn't catch. I think even then, girls were. You're supposed to drink Slim Fast. You're not supposed to drink Surge with all those carbs. You'll get fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, You're
and we're not gonna get fat because we are skateboarding
You're gonna live
and
forever.
we're snowboarding, and I'm gonna live forever.
Yeah, I'm gonna live forever.
We're just a couple kids having fun. We're just a couple kids
Cuts to
having
you
fun.
snowboarding off of a cliff.
To my
fucking
death.
live forever.
To my death.
Yeah. Take all the risks. Drink all the surges. That's what they were going for. I don't care how many bones I gotta break or how many heart attacks I'll have. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. That is the motto for that should have been the motto for Surge. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. As you snowboard off a cliff with a fucking surge
Fucking
in your
just
hand.
pounded a surge.
Yeah. God, we're marketing geniuses.
I know. Maybe if we'd have been
Surge
around,
would
they
still
wouldn't
be
have.
around.
Well, it still kind of is.
Well, yeah. Now,
Well,
this did
there
last
really-
a little while.
There really is. Yeah, it lasted for a while. There wasn't really there's no cool story of why it went away. It was basically slumping sales and market trends are changing and we're discontinuing it.
It was no longer surging in popularity.
Well, it was more like a big part of it was like
Nothing?
was like what?
I said I got nothing for that joke.
I didn't even hear it. I'm sorry.
I said they were no longer surging in popularity. And
Ayo.
you just moved right past it. I was like,
Move past it, Amy. Move past
God
it.
damn, all right.
Fucking giving me nothing.
Yeah, giving me nada.
Well, I think a big part of Surge was that like they would stock them in vending machines at schools and stuff, which is how I remember mostly having Surge.
Yeah.
And the next soda we're going to talk about. But Surge specifically, and then by the 2000s it was more people were becoming more health conscious and trying to get
Maybe I shouldn't guzzle
maybe we shouldn't
green
like
garbage all day every day.
Yeah.
Or
So
let my children do that. Yeah.
so there was of course a resurgence in 2014 and
Justin. A resurgence?
what?
How did you just scooted right by that one too.
Oh man, I'm slipping.
What would you do without me? Pointing out all these puns.
I'm slipping.
Slipping and
I'm slipping and
I'm
sliding.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. A resurgence.
A resurgence.
Hey.
And it's pretty much been available sort of on and off for like the last decade.
Yeah.
Like it kind of comes and goes, and they'll do different like. It was a BK exclusive thing for a while, and then they had the frozen Surge, like a like a slush. Okay, so let's hop in the time machine, the Fruitopia
for the last
vending machine for one more time.
Okay.
And this time, we're gonna go up to 2002. So it's 2002.
2002.
I am
was
at this point a junior in high school, and it's senior, junior and senior.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm a freshman / sophomore.
I have a very distinct memory of Pepsi Blue.
Pepsi
Pepsi
this
Blue
is
was
the
a
one
big
that
thing at the time. Pepsi Blue,
yeah.
a blue
was a big
soda,
deal.
blue soda.
Blue?
Blue
That is not.
soda?
That is also not a naturally occurring.
All the best foods are blue. I mean, all the best drinks are blue.
Foods, though? I think all the best foods are brown.
No, I kid. No, there's not a lot of blue in nature.
I mean, just like the sky and water.
In things you eat. It's just those two things.
Just those two things that make up
Just those two
most of
things,
our
and
Earth.
that's it. But let me tell you, the sky and the ocean is not what they were putting in Pepsi Blue.
Oh, I tell you what, that is not the inspiration for Pepsi Blue.
This was Blue One. Is like the controversial coloring agent that they used,
Oh, yes.
which was banned in several countries.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Not over here, though.
it was blue. Like they weren't fucking around.
It's
Like
like an electric.
it's not like a little blue. It's not like a brown cola color with like a blue tint to it. It is
No, it is
blue.
it's like a fruit. It's like a Fruitopia. Like a blue.
Yeah,
like,
it looks like something like Baxter Stockman would cook up in his lab to fight the turtles or something, you know?
Oh, that was like a deep cut, I felt like.
I love dropping a good Baxter Stockman
You are a
reference.
time-traveling historian, after all.
After all. Oh boy, I just have such a distinct memory of being in the cafeteria of our high school. And I associate, I don't know what, I associate these two things because they were both so big at the time. And that's what like my senior year sounded like. It sounded like it tasted like. It tasted like Pepsi Blue, and it sounded like Miss Jackson by Outkast.
Oh my god.
I associate those two things with each other because that was 2002, baby.
Yep.
Like, oh my god. And I didn't care for it. I remember being like, "Wow, I wish I liked that more," because
It'd be a lot cooler if I liked that.
It'd be a lot cooler if I liked it. Because blue is my favorite color. Blue's always been my favorite color.
That's true.
And I
'cause you're a
love.
boy.
I'm a boy. And I love the color blue that the soda is. It's wild looking.
It is.
It just the taste of it. It
Now, what did it taste like?
So it was advertised as just berry. So it was like a berry cola.
In quotation marks.
But I remember it. I honestly,
there was nothing real about it.
I remember it being kind of like a blueberry raspberry, sort of.
Like a blue raspberry.
Like basically a blue raspberry
Which you
soda.
do like, but this was not good.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
And very artificial tasting.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like it's very syrupy from what I remember.
Gross.
Now, going back to the Dew, because we've spent a lot of time talking about the Dew.
We have.
This Pepsi Blue was a direct reaction to Mountain Dew Code Red, which is, of course, still a Pepsi product. But they were like, the year before, 2001, what did 2001 taste like? Mountain Dew Code Red.
What did it sound like?
9/11.
Jesus Christ. That's not what I expected you to say.
It sounded like Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, Justin, it did.
It did sound like Jimmy Eat World.
It sounded like MXPX.
Yeah, so we're going to get back real quick. We're going to hop back a year in our Fruitopia time machine, 2001.
Okay. That's a quickie.
I'm now drinking a Code Red, and I'm listening to Jimmy Eat World Bleed American, and Saves the Day, Stay What You Are. And I'm living my best life. And now we're going to forward just a little.
Yeah, just a smidge.
Back to 2002. I'm back. I'm on Outkast, and I'm trying a Pepsi Blue in the cafeteria of Elizabethton High School, and I'm not crazy about it.
Now, do you like Code Red, which I'm sure will be on our next celebration?
I loved Code Red. Yes, I haven't had one in years, but I liked Code Red a lot.
Do they still make it?
Oh yeah. There's
Really?
there's tons of Mountain Dew flavors now, but
in my head, Code Red is what gamers drink. We
Yeah.
also did not put in that same category like the Surge. It's very like for gamers too.
I would say Surge was more of kind of what we talked about, the extreme, but Mountain Dew was sort of that at that time too.
Yeah.
But Mountain Dew is now more of like the gamer drink.
Yeah. And I feel like Code Red kind of was that. We won't talk too much about it because I'm sure that'll be on our next episode.
Yeah.
Now Mountain Dew has a million flavors now.
Oh yeah, yeah. But Code Red was like the first one I remember that I can
Yes.
recall as like the big new one.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know they had that still.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I haven't had one in a long time, but
No,
yeah.
they really tried hard to make Pepsi Blue a thing.
Oh, they really tried hard.
They had, this is where Britney Spears came in to the commercial, which we did talk about this when we did our Pop Princesses episode.
Yeah.
We talked about her,
I have a lot of
Pepsi
love for
commercials.
that era, that like Pepsi, the choice of a new generation marketing campaign they did.
that was good. I
With-
just
with
wish the
Britney
product
Spears.
tasted better.
Sure.
But I appreciated the marketing there. Yeah.
Now you want to know what else 2002 sounded like besides Outkast? It sounded like Papa fucking Roach.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. But suffocation, but no bleeding.
Don't give a
like-
beep if I cut my arm bleeding.
Why weren't our parents more concerned that we listened to that song?
I went to Turtle Nest Music in the Johnson City Mall and bought that CD.
R.I.P.
I bought that, and I bought a Nirvana. I bought Incesticide. Nirvana.
Oh, wow.
Incesticide.
You were hard.
I
You were hardened.
I was hard.
Pepsi
Their
Blue in
Papa
one
Roach
hand
was
and
in there were
Papa
there were
Roach.
Papa Roach commercials.
Time and time again, people, you think about me. Time and time again, you'll think about you. Hey, crank it up!
Pepsi Blue, a fusion of berries with a splash of cola. Pepsi Blue, it's a blue thing.
There were Britney
They
commercials.
did try to make Papa Roach a thing, didn't they?
Papa Roach was a thing for a little while.
Just a little bit, yeah. They had like 2 hits.
But yeah, it didn't really, despite the Papa Roach bump, it was kind of a marketing flop.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was a flop. It did not last long.
not even Queen Britney could save Pepsi Blue.
Yeah. And I mean, this was, as we talked about,
this
top of her
was
game in 01.
peak Britney.
This was peak Britney.
Peak.
Yeah.
Peak.
So if peak Britney can't save you, then I don't know.
Then your soda's just not good enough.
It's just not. It's not a good product.
But guess what? It did make a comeback.
Of course it did.
May 2021, and this I definitely have, and I still have the bottle from. I saved the bottle.
Did you drink it?
I think I bought 2. I drank 1 and then kept 1 in the bottle.
Is it still bad? Still gross?
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. That
Yeah, it's gross.
that should probably be like a I'll have one of those every 20 years thing and reevaluate.
Like Long John Silver's.
like Long John Silver's, yes.
Every time it takes me like a couple years to forget the last time I ate Long John Silver's, and I'll be like, you know what sounds good? Long John Silver's. I think it's like when people say you have a baby and then like you want to have another one because you've kind of forgotten how bad it hurt the first time and how miserable you were. Sort of like that.
Yeah. So I'll drink Pepsi Blue again in like
The next
15
time it
years.
comes around
Yeah.
in 2041.
I did want to mention, and this would be I kind of want to try this. Apparently, it's only in European countries at this point. But I was
Okay.
as I was kind of reading about this and stuff, I came across stuff from like a month or 2 ago, and I was like, oh,
What?
there's new Pepsi Blue news,
Interesting.
and this isn't necessarily new Pepsi Blue. It's called Pepsi Electric, which is getting a release right now this summer in various European countries. It seemed like, and it is a completely different flavor. It's more like it's a different. It's not a berry flavored,
But it is a blue Pepsi.
But it is blue. It is Pepsi Blue.
Ooh.
And it is neon.
Interesting. Oh, I bet.
So look up Pepsi Electric.
Interesting.
yeah.
Any of our European listeners,
Yes. Oh,
Try
if you could send
try
if you could
Pepsi
send
Electric
me,
this summer
send me
and let us
some.
know how it is.
Yeah.
Did you see that they're making Baja Blast Gelato this summer?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm too
We used to
fat.
be a country.
I'm too fat.
Well, this has been fun. It does have me hankered for something bubbly. I will tell you that.
Yeah, you know, my Dr. Pepper and cream soda zero sugar is about done.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Yeah.
and
Lasted
I think
you the
that's
whole
my cue to
episode?
ride off into the sunset.
That's right. That was a terrible horse. I cut
Try that horse sound again.
No, well, it's better, but it still wasn't great.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on it. We'll workshop that.
Yeah.
You all won't know any different, but I do want to say I'm about to go on a 2-week vacation. Which is the
2
longest-
weeks?
2 weeks. It's the longest trip I've ever been on. I'm going out west.
Okay.
For the first, well, I have been out west. I've been to the West Coast, but I've missed like everything in the middle. So you all won't know a difference because we're recording this ahead of time. But yeah, I will be gone for 2 weeks, and maybe I can post some stuff on my travels. Cool Kids Club.
Well, we would love
feed.
to see that.
Yeah, maybe we'll post some stuff on the gram as I travel.
Absolutely. Be going out there and seeing what kind of goods you can find at thrift stores in the West.
Oh God.
We're exhausting the East Coast.
Yeah, we've exhausted.
We need to see
this-
what the thrift stores west of the Mississippi have, because I'll bet it's some good
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I bet it's some good shit. That's a great idea for if we can't. We've exhausted everything to do in a place.
Yeah,
Thrift stores.
thrift baby.
I want to check out the Goodwills in another state. Well, you want to do some plugs for us?
Oh man,
Wrap it up.
let's plug it up.
Let's plug it up.
Follow
Plug it in,
us
plug it up.
on social media: Instagram, Twitter, Threads at Cool Kids Club Pod. You can also search for us on Facebook. Just search for Cool Kids Club Podcast. We are available on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. I guess it's not iTunes anymore. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the places you get podcasts. If you want to follow us personally, I'm on Instagram at Lousy with Ghosts, and Amy is at Amy.
Oh, Amy with 4 H's.
4 H's. Check out my little side Instagram account, Cool Kid Clubhouse, which is where I feature my room full of nerdy stuff.
And movies and stuff.
Yeah, and movie. Oh, it's all nerdy.
It's movies, toys.
By the way, I made
etc.
a new logo, Amy, and I want your opinion on it.
Oh.
Okay. Well, you don't have to do it
real
right
quick.
this second. Yeah.
Oh, no, I want to give you live feedback.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, while she's looking that up, I want to thank Brian, Hey Guys Wakefield, for our theme song and all of our theme songs, and I really can't wait to use that Halloween one. I cannot get here soon enough.
I like it.
Yeah?
Very bright.
It's very bright. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like it, and you've got a little
I made a
followers?
reel with
You
like
did make a
actual
reel.
effects and things like people do.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I sat down and taught myself how to do it.
You know what? I'm adding that to my story.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
I'm adding
that.
that one. That one's going to the story. Yeah.
You're what a pal.
For what good that is, I mean, I don't know, but I'll add it.
Hey, you're a pal. You got a lot more followers than I do.
12 people. That's just because I had a YouTube channel for 5 years. I'm sure nobody actually pays attention anymore.
I do.
Hey, this was great. Loved our little trip down memory lane today. Gonna maybe grab me a little carbonated something. Maybe I'll get like a caffeine free.
Yeah.
Little
Just make
carbonated
sure,
something. It's a little late in
you're
the day.
hydrating.
It's like dinner time.
Like, as I was
Yeah, I'll
thinking
make-
about this, I was like, did I drink water as a child? Because I don't ever recall drinking water. Outside of,
we
like,
drank-
maybe a water fountain at school.
We did drink water. It had Kool-Aid in it.
Yeah, 2 cups
sugar.
of sugar.
And 2 cups of sugar. I'm not going to let my
guys-
kids have soda.
guys,
I'm going to make them
stay-
Kool-Aid with 2 cups of sugar.
Guys, stay hydrated. It's very important.
It's very important.
It's
If
very
you're- if
important,
you're-
and you will feel so much better if you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what's great? Drinking water.
Yeah.
That's what's cool.
I'm going to have a drink of water right now.
That's what's fucking extreme.
That's what's hot on the streets. That's extreme.
That's
Being
extreme.
hydrated
Staying
is
hydrated,
extreme.
peeing a lot, that's extreme. Mm-hmm. All right, guys.
Get it.
Stay cool. Stay in the air conditioning.
Yeah. stay
hydrated.
stay indoors, stay hydrated. Yeah. Stay cool.
And above all, stay cool.
And furnish
See you
it
guys later.
with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I like to teach the world to sing. Sing with me.